So they leave it up to us to reel, scramble, try to recover from assault after assault. In this case, now I'm going to be locked up and won't be able to start a new job. Okay, so they've already done enough damage, blackballing me in the legal community and everything. Now I'm about to get hired in the legal community, and we have a chance to recover from the horrendous financial losses incurred as a result of scrambling to defend my grandchildren and my daughter from, and myself from, of them trying to steal my grandchildren for profit in their child selling ring. Now all we can do is document. So this is available for free download. A letter notice went on October 19th to these people, and it attached my amended complaint where I proved that these corrupt attorneys, Timothy E. Possenti, Fern Brown Caplan, Elizabeth Jackson, Lisette Shirdan-Harris, a friend of theirs in the Sheriff's Department, Sergeant Muse, and now Honorable Jay Matthews, they're using him to cover it up and just ignore the proofs that they defrauded the family court by fraudulent documents, had no proof of why the children should be removed from their only home with the grandparents and protective mother, stripped us of our rights illegally by violating our civil rights, our constitutional rights, right? They never gave us due process, and they committed capital crimes against our family, for which, instead of being responsible, when they committed these capital crimes against our family, they forced commercial transactions and defrauded several stimulus-funded, recovery.gov, and federally funded entities and agencies, including the very courts that they work for. Okay, they defrauded the entire judicial system that they're positioned to do, and they use their positioning and their political favor and their friends and family to do it. They're criminals. So I'm going to tell you, let's see, I'm going to read this to you. On October 19th, Lynn Abraham was notified, was written this letter to Lynn Abraham, this is our Philadelphia District Attorney. And a copy went to Honorable Mitchell S. Goldberg, U.S. District Court Judge in care of the clerk of Pennsylvania Eastern District Court, because the U.S. Marshals told me on the 24th that I can't complain to the federal court judge. All right, so I didn't complain to the federal court judge, but I notified the federal court judge that you got some really pompous, deep-rooted corruption in your family court, Philadelphia County Family Court, and they're thumbing their nose at you. You know, they don't care about the fact that anything was complained about them in Pennsylvania Eastern District, a U.S. District Court on September 10th. By October 16th, they did this desperate attempt. Timothy Possenti made fraudulent documents, literally fraud, and I pointed out everything that made them fraudulent, right? Fraudulent judicial process, deficient documents, slid them by a custody master. Let's see, this is probably police. This is Roxanne Grinage. If I get arrested, do I think I'll be released? That's hard to say. That's hard to say. Nobody knows it. Huh? Well, that's definitely, they've been so corrupt and so vicious and terrorizing and threatening. Remember, they were stalking you, following you down the street, showed you a firearm, right? So who knows if I'm going to incur personal injuries when I'm locked up? Who knows how long they're going to hold me in there, because they just do what they want to do. They don't care about the law. They don't care about rights. You know? I know one thing, I'm going to miss starting my new job, and that right there is going to be devastating. That's enough right there to incur personal injury and financial injury, and we will never recover from that again. Stay away from here. Don't bring the kids back here or anything, okay? All right? I love you too. All right. Okay, that's my daughter again. Okay, so Lynn Abraham, Honorable U.S. District Court Judge, U.S. Marshal Service, to the attention of the two marshals who visited me, and a marshal that I spoke to when I filed the October 16th amended complaint, because Timothy Possenti was so desperate to cover up and enforce his fraudulent order. And the fact that DHS has said, we're going to open an investigation and see what the heck is really going on here, because they had some respect for a federal court process, right? he chose to obstruct that by defrauding documents and sliding them past the custody master, who we were served to come into a fraudulent hearing. But instead of going to that hearing on the 15th, I went down to the federal court and proved to Honorable Mitchell S. Goldberg, by filing an amended complaint, his fraudulent documents and his wielding corruptly the process of family court in the Philadelphia County Court Division. Okay? And I sent it to Michael Untermeyer, who's a candidate for Philadelphia District Attorney, but special counsel for Office of Inspector General, who as an office has ignored this and looked the other way the entire time. These crimes being reported to them of corruption. And Michael L. Levy, United States Attorney, also, as far as I know, has not responded to me or is just simply looking the other way. I see on my trackers, U.S. Department of Justice comes to my website. Philadelphia, City of Philadelphia comes to my website. They're looking at everything. They know everything. And also Pennsylvania, U.S. courts, Pennsylvania Eastern District, they know everything that's going on. So all we can do, we can't force them to do their jobs. We can't force them to be honest. But we can document in a publicly viewable docket that can't be squashed by them, that can't be covered up by them based on their subjective agendas, though. So the public docket tells the true story of what really happened. And when we get to a point where we're able, but through our federal government, funding sources, and our Supreme Court justices, to apply accountability for our constitutional civil rights laws and funding accountability, then we'll be able to leverage, we'll get some judgments, some awards that'll leverage individual, complicit, accessory, and criminal accountability for these people, for these criminals. But I'm just here to tell you that I'm qualified to talk about it with experience, how deeply rooted the First Judicial District of Philadelphia County Family Court Division is, and how I know and have proofs that it is a systematic child selling scheme, human trafficking, selling children for profit, not just so that the the service contractor providers, paid agencies get paid, but they're getting kickbacks and fees for servicing orders for pedophilia, sex industry that literally destroy our children and eventually overburden our Social Security disability. Social Security disability as a administration, because the children are the ones that live are so damaged. That's all they can ever hope to get, and we're missing the viable contributions that our children would make as American workers into viable industries of medicine, science, and so on. I'm going to end this right here. I think it's getting over 10 minutes. I'm going to make another one where I read to you the letter notice and the amended complaint that went to Michael Levy, Robert Teddy, Honorable Margaret T. Murphy. She's a defendant too in many civil rights violations here in the Pennsylvania Eastern District. Philadelphia Sheriff's Office, Michael A. Haran, where we ask them to please give us some relief from this constant harassment, okay, and terrorism by by these corruptly positioned family court, quote-unquote professionals, judges and attorneys who are wielding the local Philadelphia law enforcement against law-abiding citizens who are trying to get the word out about the cover-up and corruption of the child-selling ring here in Philadelphia, First Judicial District, Philadelphia County Family Court Division. God bless everyone. It's October 24th. Happy birthday, Mom, 2009. I love you all. Take care. Much love, much respect.